In this video, we're going to be discussing Canadian Protein Marketing, which is a $100+ million company.
Very high level.
It's been a nonstop.
No question. Here, essentially, Dan is looking for, or that I want Dan to hear, is what is the snapshot of like very high level overall things that are going on for marketing behind the scenes. Not like specific, oh, we're running a whey protein isolate ad at this amount of dollars or whatever. Like, hey, we're running 15 different ads. We have this many emails going out per week is the goal. We're having this sort of social media content, blah, blah, blah. Very high level. And then I want to be able to just identify, once again, high level, if there's pieces missing to the puzzle, and then you and I can work on the details of how, because I feel like I have an idea of what he'd be looking for going from big picture to like details. So just super high level, like, and even if you want to compare it to like where Canadian Protein was maybe like a year ago, for example, there was no paid ads before. Now we have a fuck ton of paid ads, right? You see what I mean? Like kind of showing just a quick little highlight.
Yeah. So right now we have obviously our retargeting ads, which are promoting the ongoing sales. That's what we usually do for retargeting ads. It's always the sell.
Got it.
Before we don't have Sophia to help. So now that we have Sophia to help, we've been able to implement retargeting ads specifically to specific products, essentially.
Got it. Yeah.
When you're visiting a product page, you get specific product ads. And now we're also doing UGC ads, which is about like, we started with like
we're
20.
using UGC for retargeting.
Correct. No,
so
for customer acquisition.
For customer acquisition.
For bringing brand new customers in.
And we're specifically targeting new customers?
Yes.
Okay. And you can do that, no problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And right now we're doing some testing. So when we first launched it, we were getting 0 return, brand new customers.
Yeah.
Within like 2 weeks, it went to 1.5 return.
Okay.
We ended up at 2 return. And usually like you don't get much return on customer acquisition ads because it's brand new customers, right?
Got it.
And so they also get hit with the retargeting ads, which we have on, like fully going. So a lot of the times the sales don't get attributed to the UGC customer acquisition ads, but right now they are, which is really good. That means someone completely new sees an ad, they go on the site, and they actually purchase.
Interesting.
Which is pretty decent.
Gotcha.
So we're trying to get that number up to like 5.
Okay.
Right now we're at 2.
So how many pieces of content would you say that we have going for the retargeting ads, and how many pieces of content for the new customer acquisition UGC style ads?
So for the UGC customer acquisition, we started with 20, and then we've brought it down to about like 12.
Okay.
And so we're still testing with like a good example is we had an ad that, I don't know if this is racist, but we had an ad that of an Asian girl, right? And it didn't perform as well as it did in Vancouver. So like we just completely shifted it only to Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually just performing. So
like performing like considerably better.
Clicks. Yeah, it's getting
interesting.
Clicks, as opposed to before, it wasn't getting clicks.
See, and I don't think there's anything like racist about that. It's just looking at
it's demographics.
Yeah, it's demographics. If the Asian population, as an overall percentage of the overall population, is much higher in Vancouver versus in Windsor, let's say, for example.
That's actually.
So I feel like it's when someone's watching it, it's just relatable, right? Like,
I actually think that's a very interesting marketing piece here. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's extremely relevant.
Yeah.
And probably pretty controversial as well, which is fine. I don't mind that. But the most interesting takeaway from this is like, numbers don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it could be as controversial as you want, but at the end of the day, numbers don't lie. So if it's actually performing better, it's just performing better, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
That entire category of marketing, so call it those 35 pieces of content, retargeting plus like new customer acquisition ads, didn't exist a couple months ago.
Got it.
So that whole department is all branding.
Got it.
Right? So that's the first category. So go to the next category.
And then we're doing that in TikTok too, right?
Okay.
So we're running customer acquisition. That's why I don't know if you see, there's actually traffic coming in from TikTok now as opposed to before there wasn't.
Got it.
So there's nothing to even compare it to.
Got
Shopify.
it. How's it doing on TikTok?
It's doing okay. We're not like going crazy either.
Yeah. We're just testing right now.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
$100 a day for like multiple pieces.
Got it.
And then what this is actually helping us do, which we're, you know how I told you we went from $1 return to 2 with the customer acquisition ads. What we actually did was at first we had like all these different recipe videos, and if you clicked, they went directly to the product.
Got it.
Right, and we had a lot of like drop off. Essentially.
Okay.
Like you show up, and I think what people were expecting were the actual recipe and a blog. So what we did was we created a blog, and then now we're testing. That's how it went from 1 to 2.
Okay.
Based off of like
Very smart.
an example. You know how we have like sponsored athletes that we provide product to.
Mm-hmm.
We do that so that we can get UGC, because otherwise we're not getting decent UGC.
Yeah.
Right. And so now that we have all this UGC coming in, we can do things like that.
Got it.
Right. And now we know how to actually utilize it, and as opposed to just straight up go buy. We
Got
actually have the blog, and it works.
Got it. Very interesting.
So that's for UGC ads. And then we have retargeting ads, which is if someone comes in, like this week, actually last week, I didn't know how to do this. So I actually got on the call with a Facebook marketing specialist, and they taught me how to retarget a specific UGC customer, like brand new customer, with like an upsell. So you remember how I asked you if it's okay to put out a brand new discount code for like brand new customers? And that's what we're going to do now, because we can be very specific. This person came in from this ad, they watched the 50%, and they clicked. The next ad that they get is a discount code. Right? It's like, hey, get 20% off your first order. And
Gotcha.
And it'll only be available to them. So it's not going to be on the internet like
I see.
everywhere, right?
And how do we make sure that doesn't go on, like go
because
everywhere?
of the retargeting, because it's very specific to the person that watched that.
Does the
ad.
code automatically generated?
No, but we
Okay.
can do that if we switch it to. So what we were going to do is put the ad, it's the code itself, to see, okay, let's test it out, see if it shows up on discount sites. If it doesn't, then it works. If not, if it shows up on discount sites, then we'll move it on to, you know how we had the text, put your number to get it. We'll do that instead.
Gotcha.
So that way the code is actually unique to the customer.
Got it. For people watching this, the reason why I'm bringing up if it's automatically generated, why I'm so hell-bent on making sure the codes don't get out on the internet is because we've had issues before. Coupon sites would pick up codes, and then we couldn't really even figure out if those codes were actually working or not. So that was a major issue that we've always had. We've always had this hurdle, and we've always, it's been a nonstop uphill battle trying to work through this.
I think a lot of e-commerce brands deal with that exact same.
I totally agree, but it's a fucking pain in the ass nonetheless.
Yeah. Last week we did like four different emails that were specific to specific customers. To specific customers.
So we're segmenting out customers now.
Yeah.
Like hyper targeted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and why are you doing that?
To bring up the open rate for the account, so that when we do a blast that is for everybody, they actually get it.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember when I brought this up multiple times and we fixed it finally. We were sharing the Klaviyo account with every single brand. And if we did one for like Culture Capital, not everyone opened it. That affected the account. If we did one for Culture Golf, not many people opened it. That affects the account. And then we try and do one for CP, and we try to hit everybody. It's not going to go all the way through.
Yeah.
Because those other times, like, brought
So what you're saying is our newsletter, which we use Klaviyo, operates almost the same way as social media platforms, where if you put out shit content, it's not going to go. And if you put out shitty newsletters that are not maybe hyper targeted or segmented, the open rates just drop off.
Yeah.
So it almost operates the same way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's email providers that do that. It's not really like Klaviyo. So yeah, now that we're cleaning that up, we've seen a little bit of an increase. I think right now we're at 13% open rate.
How much?
13%.
Okay.
Which is pretty decent.
Yeah. And what was it before?
9.
Oh, okay. So we're going.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it fluctuates. So,
Yeah.
So let me get into like some bottlenecks here. Design work. I know you hate that stuff, like getting into it and all that.
I don't hate it. I want to simplify it.
Yeah.
It's just not efficient. Yeah.
But going forward, it's just going to be one image of whatever cell it is.
Yeah.
Which is just text.
Image or a GIF, right? Yesterday you did a GIF.
No, it'll always be a GIF for the scroll, right?
Okay,
but at the top, what I mean is like the offering.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it's Memorial Day, then I'll just say Memorial Day sale, whatever percent discount. Everything else at the bottom, without borders or design or anything, it's just going to be a screenshot.
Yeah.
And a screen recording.
Yeah.
And so now that we're going to do that, we can actually do more segmented emails. So that's something that we're going to be doing.
Okay, so I feel like that kind of covers the overarching, like what's going on in marketing overall. What would you say is like moving forward the areas where you feel like we still need a lot of attention or help or whatever in terms of like kind of segments in the marketing plan?
It's still ads.
And then do you feel like we would, for example, like need extra bodies to help out with that, or like how do we get it done is my question.
So it is ads and it is emails, and like I mentioned right now, it's the design part of it.
Yeah.
But that's why I asked you guys before this meeting if I could buy product photo backdrop for products, and then a flash, so that we can start taking the pictures instead of designing stuff. So an
I
example,
see, yeah.
like we bought like.
So you feel like the pictures is actually way faster than actually having to do the.
So,
yeah.
So what we're gonna do now is like, you know how right now on the Canadian Protein website we have the main banner and that's a design. Next time we're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take a picture and that's it. Like that's it.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
And like also like I've seen on other brands, for example, let's say that we're restocking strawberry milkshake or whatever. We go to fucking the grocery store, get some strawberries, drop the strawberries, take a picture, and boom, that's our image for the homepage or whatever.
Exactly. And that will eliminate the need of another designer and having to bother Thomas, because I know he's busy with like product design a lot, like the packaging and stuff. So yeah.
Interesting.
And that'll speed
Okay.
things up. And I can teach Sophia how to do it too. So Connor doesn't have to do it. I don't have to do it. And she can actually take on doing email fully, not just like the technical side of things.
Got it.
Same as ads. I can tell her, hey, go take pictures of this, go buy chocolate, whatever.
Yeah.
Now we have photos for ads.
Got it. Yeah.
So
Okay, that's good enough. It's past Danny's to hop on that call. He's a little late right now. But so we'll leave it at that. But essentially, like next week, same thing on Tuesday. Like I want to pull Dan in on this, and like this is even all that I need, right? Because it's high level. So when he and I have the conversations, like throughout the week in terms of like what else we want to do, I'll look at what's going on, what else we want to do, and then how to actually like get that done.
Yeah.
Whether
Because I'm always asking you guys all the time, like, what's this? What's that? You know. So
I don't know if I mentioned the shopping feed. You remember that?
yeah.
So because that feed was broken, I had to ramp down the ads.
Yeah.
So for the last probably like 2 weeks, we were spending like $70-$90 a day or something, or less.
Yeah.
But now that that's fixed, but we'll see like a week. I think we'll see how like actually that's going to perform.
All right. Cool. Awesome.